Hi, I'm Lisa with the Patterson Group with Royal LePage Atlantic.
I'm Shauna Snare with Premier Mortgage. I'm also inside the Royal LePage Atlantic office with Lisa.
So today we're just going to talk about some questions that we run into with first-time home buyers. And Shauna, the first question I wanted to ask is, what's the most common question that first-time home buyers ask you?
Most common question. That's a tough one. I think everyone's got their own situation. So I think that the main question or the most asked question may be different depending on people's situations. So it's a tough one to answer. I think that there's a lot of generic questions, but some people or different people are worried about different things. So the questions change.
Okay, perfect. And what kind of documentation is required when you want it?
So to get pre-approved, the biggest thing that I want is to confirm a client's income, because as self-employed people, a lot of self-employed people will say that they make $60,000, but they really write it down to $5,000 because self-employed people do that. So the documentation is going to change. I will need to confirm the income. I will need to confirm the down payment. I will need to confirm assets and liabilities. But in terms of paperwork, the income is going to be the thing that I'm going to want first.
Okay, perfect. And this is something I hear a lot. My credit score sucks. I'm never going to be able to buy a house. Is there any options for those people that feel that way?
Yes, absolutely. I do hear that a lot as well. Sometimes people think they're in a worse position than they may be in. So it could just be paying off a collection for $50 that they didn't know they had and we're on our way. Or it could just take a little longer. So I've worked with some people that they're not going to be able to buy for, 2 years. Some people are going to be able to buy for longer than that. And it's just working with them to get back on track. Everything can be fixed. Some things are just going to take a lot longer than others.
Is there any kind of down payment assistance program?
There are. We have a down payment assistance program where the government will loan you the money interest-free if you do not have a down payment. There is, a cap on what they're lending for that. So they do run out near the end of the year. I haven't seen that they've put the money back in the pot for this year, but I'm sure we'll hear about it soon. There isn't another program where you need to have your 5% down payment, and the government has a program where they'll add on an additional 5%. That one's a little more in depth, and there's a little more qualifications. So if anyone wanted more details, it would be something that they should chat on a little bit further.
And what about the interest rates? Do you know what those are right about now?
I do. They're going to change. An average rate's going to be 2.89 for a 5-year fixed mortgage if it's going to be CMHC insured, and what that means is that we're going to put less than 20% down. The rates do go up once we get to the level of putting 20% or more down, which sometimes seems a little backwards, but we don't have that CMHC. We don't have CMHC there to protect the lender, so the rates slightly go up.
Okay. And what about when we're looking at a house and it's a purchase price, but the buyer will say, okay, well, I want to do some renovations. Can I add more money?
Yeah, great question. Lots of clients do not know that they can do that. So the way we look at it is anything that's going to add value to the property. So, or something that you couldn't take out. So you couldn't add appliances, for example, but you could do painting or flooring or new windows or a new roof, anything that's going to add that value to the property. Typically what happens is you're going to move into the house, you're going to do the work, and then you're going to get the money back from the lender once the work's been completed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about the difference between a mortgage broker and going through the bank?
Another good question. So I never knew I was a mortgage broker at a bank, and everybody walks through the door because that is what people do. They just go to the bank. And I think what people are realizing these days is that a mortgage broker has access. The only real difference is that a bank is one product. As a mortgage broker, I have access to tons of different lenders. I'm going to use the same credit check to check all of the lenders, so that if there's a blip in the credit, for example, like we chatted about, and someone says no, I have the option to send it somewhere else. So that's really the biggest thing, is that you're not going to a Royal Bank wrap at the bank and then they can't do anything, and then you're going to a Scotiabank wrap at the bank and they can't, your broker can do all of it. I think that's the biggest thing. We would do a lot more mortgage transactions, and we would just have more information available to us.
Okay. And what about the once you put an offer on a home,
Mhm.
how much time would you say it takes to get the funding in place?
Oh, to get like a financing letter?
Yeah.
So if someone's pre-approved, it's usually a lot quicker because we already have everything. We know what the details are. Typically, approval should, on a standard deal, should not take any more than 2 or 3 days, but we typically like to have those 7 business days just to give us some time in case we need an appraisal, in case they add the renovations and we need to send an appraiser out to check the renovations. That's really where the timing comes in. The financing itself, if it's been pre-approved, shouldn't be the lengthy process.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Well, that's all I had for you today.
Perfect.
So thank you for sitting down and talking with us.
No problem.
So if you guys have any other questions about purchasing a home or selling your home, feel free to reach out. And mortgage questions, feel free to reach out to Shauna. We're both always here to help, and we hope you have a great day.